Not bacteria, not viruses. So
Fungus. Yes, that's the usual response. Fungi seem harmless enough. Many species know otherwise, because there are some fungi who seek not to kill, but to control. Viruses can make us ill, but fungi can alter our very minds.
Oh, man. Oh, man. You know, I'm so excited right now because it's finally here. The Last of Us is here. But even better, the podcast is here. J-Mo, I don't know about you, but you tell me.
I'm ready for 2023 to go out with a bang. Let's just do this. Let's get it started. Last of Us. I've been waiting for this damn show way too long. The pandemic halted it for a little bit, but now it's here. And like one of those clickers, I'm salivating.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, we waited for so long. It's finally here, and we are already 2 episodes in. We're going to cover episode 1 today, so we're a little late to the party. But you know, I mean, we had to see it like 3 or 5 times before talking about it, right? So let's talk about episode 1 today. I'm freaking pumped. So let's get right into it, man. How do you want to start? What do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, let's put it this way. I didn't think I was going to get shocked by anything, but the way, only because I played the game. Like I lived the game. I mean, I was just constantly playing it. I played it more than once, type of situation. So I knew the story. So I was like, I expected it to be great. So I was like kind of hesitant about how good it was going to be, because would it be tarnished because I already knew the ending? But you know what was great about it? That opening scene, and not just the 1968 opening scene, the intensity of the opening scene that mimicked the game with Joel and his daughter Sarah. Yeah. Joel played by the amazing Pedro Pascal. The intensity was crazy. It almost felt like, when you first saw Jaws, and you never saw the shark, but he's around, and you're like, when is he gonna fucking attack? So the whole time I'm like, when is the fucking attack gonna happen? Yeah. And so I was a little nervous. What'd you think?
Dude, I same thing. I think they did a great job, because just like you, I play the game. I've actually done reviews of the game even before they announced the TV show. As a matter of fact, I think when the second game came out, I did a review on my Spanish channel on the first game for people that hadn't played it and that didn't have time to play it or whatever. So I'm very invested, and I can tell you that they did a really great job with doing things sometimes identical to the game, but then also changing other parts to set up, the storyline for this particular time. Because in the video game, you're Joel, right? And you kind of see everything except for some little moments here with like Sarah. You see everything under his perspective. With this, you can be on anybody's perspective, right? Whether you're with Sarah or whether you're with Ellie or whatever, right? So I think they did a really great job. It did not disappoint me, man. In fact, it exceeded my expectations.
You know what made this great is the fact that, like for example, you take a movie like Uncharted, they tweak it way too much from the original story, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
That's like the given theme for every video game turned into a movie. They tweak it too much when everyone loves the story of the video game. Why are you messing with it too much? What's nice about this is like they kept it, a lot of it, very original. Like you said, they used the same lines that, like, clip for clip, compared to the video game, to the show, and any changes that they made was for the betterment of the story. Like, it actually enriched the story. Like that opening scene set up in that talk show from 1968. that's nowhere near the video game. We don't even know anything about that. We're just thrown into this anarchy that is Lost of Us in the video game. With this, it kind of like leaves you with a little nugget, and you're like, oh, okay. So are we going to come back to this? Are we going to dive deep into it? What's going to happen next?
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and we can probably do a quick mention of the introduction. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I think that one of the things that worked out is that some of the co-creators of this show are also the people that were involved in the video game. However, they wanted to make sure they stay consistent with certain things, right? But they had to change it to make it viewable for somebody, right? And it's working. And dude, and you hit it right on, bro. Like, besides the gameplay and the excitement of being in a video game, the storyline that this particular fucking game had is just great, and they're honoring it pretty accurately. I mean, not to say I'm not saying that the gameplay was bad. The gameplay was, man, I used to be on fucking pins and needles, right? Like, evading clickers and shit like that. So, you know that feeling, and it's translating really well into this show. So,
well, like you said, they brought in the same writer that wrote for the game, so Neil Druckmann, and to keep it in that realm of suspense, the other writer is Craig Mazin, who wrote for Chernobyl. I don't know if you've ever seen Chernobyl on HBO. That show is fucking amazing. And honestly, it kind of like goes like the theme of how they shot it is very similar, and the theme it just keeps you in. Remember when The Walking Dead first started?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I remember. That's how I remember this show. Like, I mean, I loved the first season of The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Now, whatever happened during seasons 8, 9, and 10 kind of went off the rails a little too much for me and kind of got repetitive. But that first couple of seasons, I was like, whoa. And this had that same wow factor for me.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm a big Walking Dead fan. I've read all the comic books from 1 to, whatever, 183 or whatever the hell it is. But one of those things is that I've been pitching, The Last of Us to people. I'm like, have you seen The Last of Us? Because I'm so excited. I want to talk about it all day. And people are like, oh, no, what is it about? And and people are like, oh, it's about zombies. Or it's about zombies. Yeah. And it's like, no, The Walking Dead was about zombies, right? The Last of Us is a story that has zombies in it. If that makes sense. And, I know we don't call them zombies, but it's almost like, of course, they are a threat, but there's a deeper story behind the whole thing, right?
To listen to the entire podcast, please look us up on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to drop a follow, and see you next time.